Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be talking about matrices for Tower of Fantasy. And instead of going through a tier list and kind of talking about the optimal, matrices that may be out there, we're just going to go through every single matrice, talk about what they do, and kind of assess them in our own way. That way we can kind of know, across the wide swath what we're looking for, keep our eyes out when we're doing pulling, and we kind of have the generic information about everything and all of the matrices in the game. So let's go ahead and dig in. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the SSR matrices. And one thing you'll notice with the SSR matrices is that there are going to be 2-piece sets and 4-piece sets here. And then we do get some more in the future. There are, of course, SR and R matrices as well. When I was playing through the game, I did actually get R matrices pretty quickly. R matrices are basically going to be like 3-piece sets that are going to like increase damage, for physical damage for your characters by 6%. So they're not really going to be like the strongest. They'll increase damage from frost weapons. You might find yourself using them a little bit as you are playing through the game, but I found myself utilizing them very little as I was playing. Keep in mind, these do have base stats associated with them as well. So you may want to potentially use a higher level matrix for potentially base stats, particularly if you're using like some of the SR matrices that are going to be 3-piece sets as well. You can see this gives damage up to Grievous targets 12, 15, and 18%, but it's only a 3-piece set, and you do have 4 different slots that you are going to be able to slot things in on, so you may not be able to have a full complete set every time, particularly if you're free to play. You may only have like 2 of a Cobalt B, and then you want to combine, just either stats, or you want to try and get something from elsewhere. So let's talk about the matrices first. Here we'll go to Cobalt B. So Cobalt B's 2-piece set is going to restore 1 dodge every 4 dodges. Dodge attacks add burn to the target, dealing 13, 17, 21, and 25% attack damage per second for 10 seconds. The 4-set piece is going to increase damage by 13, 17, 21, and 25% to targets with abnormal statuses. So I would say pretty good. Definitely going to be status ailment reliant, and going to be very dodge reliant as well, it looks like. As we're looking at Claudia here, 2-piece set is going to increase damage by 13, 17, 20, 23 when hitting a target in midair or initiating an aerial attack. Resets double jump upon hitting the target while airborne. The 4-piece set, hitting an enemy with a skill reduces the cooldown of all weapon skills by 1.5 to 2.5 in 3 seconds, and increases the damage of discharge skills by 36, 45, 54, and 63% for 15 seconds. Personally, I think these matrices, this matrix in particular for Claudia, could potentially be really viable, especially as a 2-piece set. I have heard conversations in the sphere of Tower of Fantasy that you are going to want to be doing a lot of aerial attacks, because the aerial attacks actually deal more damage. They're riskier, but they deal more damage. I didn't really notice that when I was playing through the early version of the game. But that is something that I had heard. So I do think you may want to keep your eyes on this 2-piece Claudia set for, maybe whatever you're building here. Coco Ritter is going to have a 2-piece set. This is going to be the healing set, really. Increased healing capability and healing received by 8, 10, 12, and 14%. Coco, as you guys may know, is one of the better healers in the game. The 4-piece set, when you or your teammates are healed, increases attack by 10, 12.5, 15, or 17.5% for 2 seconds. So again, very powerful for healing. If you're going to be a healer, you're going to want those matrices. Huma is going to have a 2-piece set which hitting targets with dodge skills inflicts bleed, dealing damage equal to 15, 19, 22.5, and 26% of attack every second for 5 seconds. The 4-piece set is going to reduce attack of all targets within 8 meters that are taking damage over time. Now, I'm not sure how useful reducing attack is going to be in the game. It doesn't seem like, to me it seems like you want to deal more damage most of the time, has been my experience, but there may be situations where you're working in a party or a combination where you do want to reduce attack. I do like being able to deal bleed as well, so again, I think this 2-piece set could be really good, particularly, you know, hitting people with dodge skills and adding bleed anytime you have dots on the opponent. Gonna be really nice, so it adds some nice damage here. Crow, the 2-piece set is going to increase crit damage to targets with less than 60% HP by 24, 30, 36, and 42%. Of course, crit damage, always very good, right? 4-piece set, crits deal additional damage over time equal to 18, 22, 26, 30% of attack every second for 5 seconds. Does not stack. So I think this is really good. I think no matter what, every game that you play, crit is always going to play a factor, and it's always going to be very powerful. So I think Crow, especially to have an increased crit damage by almost 42% when it's fully maxed out, is exceptionally powerful. King, actually my favorite character from when I was playtesting the game. 2-piece set, when a target is shattered, so when you've broken their shield, grant 8, 10, 12, and 14% damage boost for 25 seconds. Only the highest level is applied when the effect is obtained repeatedly. The 4-piece set, when there are more than 2 enemies around, his restore HP equal to 10%, 12%, 13%, or 14% of damage dealt upon attacking. The maximum HP restored every 0.5 seconds must not exceed 30, 33, 34.5, or 36% of attack. So definitely seems like a really powerful, almost exclusively PvE matrix right here, but definitely good. Meryl, 2-piece set, if HP is less than 30% after being attacked, gain a shield equal to 15, 19, 22.5, and 26% of max HP for 10 seconds. So very good, oh shit moment, defensive piece of gear. 4-piece set, increase Whirlwind's damage by 36, 45, 54, and 63%, and restore HP equal to up to 50% of the damage dealt while Whirlwind is active. The maximum HP restored every 0.5 seconds cannot exceed up to 90% of attack. So we've got a lot of things going on here, and I know Meryl's going to be one of the more preferred simulacrums from what I've heard. So I have no doubt that this matrix is going to be very good. It sounds very good. It sounds like it's going to not only save you, but potentially also heal you if you're able to max it out. I can see this being really good in PvP as well, so I think Meryl will be one to keep an eye on. Samir, definitely a fan favorite, very similar to King. Everybody kind of totes how Samir is huge ass damage all the time. So I expect her matrix is going to be very similar. 2-piece set, increase damage progressively by 1% upon hitting a target. Okay, and that stacks up to 20 times, which means you're going to be able to get a up to 20% damage bonus. And it only lasts 1.5 seconds. So probably only going to be able to hit 20 if you're hitting multiple targets, I would imagine. I'm not sure how fast she attacks. I know she's a dual pistol user. She's one of the characters I didn't get to play test, but I know people love her. So I'm guessing you are going to want to try and get at least 2 of the Samir matrices just for this. 4-piece set is going to increase dual EM Star's electrical explosion damage by up to 40% of attack. Again, really good. Going to help out a lot. I'm going to be very powerful. Shiro, increase both damage and shatter to targets with more than 50% HP by 15%, 19%, 22.5%, and 26%. So this is going to be really good, kind of like initial damage against opponents. 4-piece set, upon entering battle, gain 20 up to 35% damage boost for 20 seconds. Resets 5 seconds after exiting battle. So interesting that it's very focused on like the first part of combat. Could be okay, definitely not the worst, but not my favorite matrix that we've seen today. Tsubasa. Now, Tsubasa is a ranged unit and is one of the, from my understanding, long-term simulacrums that we're going to be using. 2-piece set is going to increase damage dealt by 10% up to 17.5% when there are no enemies within 4 meters. 4-piece set, upon a headshot, because you can get headshots in this game, increase attack by 21%, or 12 to 21% for 8 seconds. So I think these are really powerful, especially if you're playing a ranged character. This is very good. Now, keep in mind, this is definitely designed for Tsubasa Simulacrum to be used with her. So this is one of those simulacrums that, or one of these matrices that you are really going to have her in order to kind of fully utilize. We do have 0 here. So 0 to be set upon using a discharge skill to switch to the current weapon. Gain a shield equal to 120 to 210% of attack for 4 seconds. Pretty good. When the shield is active, you and your teammates deal 16 to 28% more damage. Now that is really powerful in kind of a party setup situation. But again, it's reliant on being in a party, being in a group with people. So not the best at all times, but there may be times where you do want to slot it in. Now we do have SR Matrices. SR Matrices are not that great. You're probably going to be using them a lot, but like you'll get Echo SR Matrix maxed out really quickly, I think. I did. You basically get them as you progress through the game. Using a discharge skill to switch to the current weapon grants 80, 100, 120 weapon charge. NA is going to do when dealing damage greater than 100% of attack, deal additional damage equal to 60, 75, 90% of attack. Cooldown is 3 seconds, so a lot of these are really good, particularly if you're just looking for straight damage. Hilda, increase attack by 15 to 22.5 when there are no enemies within 6 meters, right? So these are going to be kind of the, I would say bread and butter. Like, you're probably going to be using these mid game. You may even use them late game, depending on the matrices that you happen to pull. I just literally can't say matrix or matrices. I cannot. But it seems like you're probably going to use some of the SRs until you either get like a full SSR build. And I'm not quite sure what the stat differences are. If you're literally just going to go straight for the SSRs and it's not going to be worth it to invest in these, I think it's going to depend. I do know that pulling the matrices are a different currency than some of the other things that you can pull for. And I don't know if you do get access to a lot of free pulls on the matrices. So it could be a situation where you're kind of trapped with the matrices that you get. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We will do this with all of the characters as well. Hopefully this helps you guys prepare, and I will catch you guys next time.